my name is MeganBatoon, and I am living in a constant state of flux. And I know that we're all living in a constant state of flux, but I think that to be frank, I need to get my life together. Maybe it's not my life, but it's definitely how I live my life. Like every single room in my house, we know this. If you've seen any of my videos before, you know that I'm constantly doing projects and I never finish any of them. See? None of them are finished. None. So many people are probably just like, why don't you finish them? You know what? I would really love the time and energy in order to do so. I've got so many other projects for other people, and sometimes I put other people before myself. I also realize that I do well under pressure, and I'm such a procrastinator that I procrastinate kind of on purpose, but subconsciously, to the point where I will get something done very well, very fast if I procrastinate so long that I have to focus with all of my might in order to get it done. And the one way that I know how to do that is deadlines. And I don't really listen to my own deadlines, but when other people are like, hey, I want to come to LA, can I stay in your place? Like my family, then I go, yeah, of course everything's ready for you. Nothing is ready for them. Just so you know, like what I'm working with, I'm gonna try and clean my house so that it looks livable. All of my tools from my desert project are here. The name of the game for this video is essentially like doing one thing to make my life better before my family comes in. That is the video you're watching, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's go! So for today's act of making my life better, why is this so zoomed in? Please. Here's the thing, I really wanted to do some big video about like a transformation and a reveal from what this room used to be, and I'm sure I will sometime, or I won't. I don't know anything about the future or how I'm gonna feel tomorrow. So maybe I will, maybe I won't. Who gives a flying F? This is what my room looks like right now. I call it the green room. This is where a lot of people come and hang out. I really do love it. But there's two things that I wanna do in here because they drive me crazy. One, this needs to get taken care of at some point. Second, I really love this piece. However, it is dominating the space. It's just really visually heavy. I liked it because it served as a focal point, but now that I walk into this space, it's just like, we get it, you're a cabinet. Also, I really love the pieces inside the cabinet, and with the glare, I can't see my pieces. See, look at that. The glass shatters. So I'm going to assemble something that I bought, and then I'm gonna display my pieces a little bit more visibly, and this is gonna go to a different room. Truly, all of my furniture is playing musical chairs every day of my life, and that's how I like it. I am the reason that people made modular furniture. Okay, so let's hit a time lapse. So when I start to style a brand new piece, I start with my favorite pieces first, just so I make sure that they have room. I have a couple vases and books, and then as I work my way down, I realize that a lot of my pieces that I currently have don't fit. So then I went around my house and shopped for something that would actually fit the dimensions of this bookshelf. And then my pad thai got delivered to my door, so I stopped. So TBD on this styled shelf. So I ordered some artwork online that I thought came framed, did not come framed, didn't even come on a stretched canvas. So I just nailed this to the wall in the interim, and I hated it for so long, but now that my family is coming in, I should really do something about it. So I am taking dimensions of the length and the width. I'm transferring those measurements onto pine trim, but subtracting a little bit, the same amount on each side, so I can make sure that the canvas wraps around both sides of the frame. I cut my wood into 3 pieces, which is gonna be the main backing, and then 2 shorter sides for the sides. Here's what it looks like laid out. I'm just double checking and making sure all of my measurements add up, which good thing I did because this was too big. I didn't account for the sides, so I put them together and measured the width of what the size would be, and I subtracted that from my 3 length pieces and recut those on the miter saw. And now we are back to officially put it all together. I'm taking my speed square, which I love this tool so much. If you do anything DIY or interiors or carpentry, this is such a good tool. I wish I would have known about it sooner. It just helps you make 90-degree angles anytime that you need to, and it just makes your work cleaner. So I'm joining all 4 sides with the speed square using a nail gun to adhese them all together. I guess it's not adhesive if it's not glue, but you know, we're putting it together and it's staying. Adding in my central piece for a little bit more stability, and then realizing the wood is very weak and then I need to add more vertical support. So I'm measuring the distance between the top and middle and bottom, and then I'm cutting mitered pieces to those exact dimensions and nailing those in the frame as well. Each of these pieces of trim was like $5, so I'm not mad at them for being so flimsy, but just know that if you do make this, that they're gonna be a little flimsy. And that's okay, because it's a piece of art on the wall. You won't see this part. After my frame was complete, I grabbed an upholstery stapler and I started putting really tiny nails into the perimeter of the art, stretching it the entire time so it really does look like a tailored stretch canvas. I'm a little upset. It looks good, I'm not mad. I'm just a little upset. So I don't know what well, I do know what happened. The wood that I bought, I mean, it's trim, it's not durable. It normally would have been fine, but in this particular instance, it is not. The wood was a little bent. I don't know if I can fix it at this point. I know that wood settles if there's humidity and stuff, so I'm gonna add a border, which I was already imagining to do so. This is my kitchen counter right now. I have wet the wood. Incrementally, I've put different weights in order to push it down, so hopefully that they will dry straight. I honestly didn't Google this. I was just like, okay, maybe this works. If it doesn't work, whatever. It's better than it was before, and that's all we can ask for. So let me finish that. For making the outside framing, I'm just taking the same exact pine trim that I had on the inside, measuring the perimeter so that I can make sure that it's going to hug it tightly. And then I'm cutting all of the pieces at a 45-degree angle on the miter saw so they match up on the sides. And I'm using these little corner clamps that I just bought from Amazon that hold them in place while the wood glue dries. Once that's all set up, I'm just gonna let it dry overnight, and we'll reconvene with this later. So instead of sulking over this, or as my mom would say, get my panties in a bunch, I just moved on and decided to do something else for myself that would be taking care of me, which is eating. I honestly need to be a little bit better about taking time to stop to eat, so this is what this is. Cooking a meal for myself and taking a break from working that I can actually nourish myself. As always, I'm reaching for HelloFresh because I truly don't have time or energy to do anything else. I've said this so many times before, I just don't have to think about everything because I just read the directions and do it basically like I'm on autopilot. Right now they've got fall flavors and in-season produce for autumn all up in their meals. I'm talking hearty soups, chilies, savory sides, and autumn-themed desserts. They got all of it. There's also so many different recipes to choose from each week, and they keep adding recipes, so you'll never get bored and the meals won't be monotonous. My personal tip is to increase your HelloFresh box servings so you can easily use the leftovers for lunches. Right now I am using a 2-person meal, and I put one in Tupperware and save it, but you can even do 4 and basically meal prep. Speaking of prepping, HelloFresh sends pre-portioned ingredients, meaning there's less prep, less brain cells being used, and less wasted food. And you know what? Mama like that. The meal I'm making right now is a pork bulgogi, and I know I say this every time, but I'm just gonna say it's probably top 5. Maybe my favorite, but I'm just gonna say top 5 because I say it every time. If you want easy meals so good that you don't know if they're your favorite that you've ever had, go to HelloFresh.com and use my code BATOON14 to get 14 free meals, including free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com, code BATOON14. You'll get 14 free meals, including free shipping. Take care of yourselves and stop using your brain cells. Everyone, let's cheers because we just did something for ourselves that we didn't want to do, but ultimately it's gonna help us stay alive. Cheers! Vacuum just broke. I think I'm gonna handle the rest on my own. I will say that I don't absolutely loathe this. It's not perfect, but I don't think I have time to care. It looks better than before, and that's all I can really ask for. If anyone of all things to look at in my house, they're like, hey, this looks kind of makey. I'll be like, you know what? I madey-madey. So that's why it looks like that, because I did it right before you landed at the airport. Other than that, I will show you this room when it's done. LOL, will it ever be done? Stay tuned to find out. If you're looking for a sign to do at least one good thing for yourself, to set yourself up for success for the next week, the next day, the next hour, or the next thought, this is that reminder. You got this, and so do I, because I gotta go get a new vacuum. Have a great day with the rest of your day. Bye!